Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where in the world you are joining me from. Me, I am Illuminati, and this is the Crypto and Cognac podcast show, as always, live every Thursday, even Carnival Thursday, right here, YouTube, 7 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, sharp. And if I'm here, you're here, Stevie here, Henny there, right, guys? It's a celebration. It's Carnival Thursday in Trinidad and Tobago, and I mean some other parts of the world, but those don't really matter because there's only one real carnival, right? So, shout out to you guys taking some time off from your heavy, fat schedule to be here with me this evening. We are talking about crypto narratives. Do they still have the same level of weight? Do they still have the same value? Do they have the same impact as they've had in previous cycles? Are narratives dead? That is the question that we are going to seek to answer this evening. Shout out to my brother in the chat, as always, Stevie, the boss himself. Big up yourself, my brother. So, before we get into it, housekeeping, right? Stevie, you know how to do it. This is not a financial advisory podcast. I am not a financial advisor. I'm a guy who jumps onto the interwebs and talks about crypto while drinking cognac, right? Nothing that I say here this evening, last evening, or any evening to come should be misconstrued as financial advice. As always, DYOR. Do your own research. Yes? Do let me have to tell you again. So, crypto narratives. Are they enough? Right? Because the real thing is, like, right now, everybody in crypto seems to be asking the same question. Are these stories that we keep telling ourselves enough to move the prices, right? Or is something fundamentally different in this market as compared to previous cycles? Because for years, crypto has been powered by narratives. Big ideas, big promises, and big headlines have moved the charts year after year, cycle after cycle. And right now, we've seen major announcements. We've seen massive institutional adoption, ETFs being approved, global integration, and yet altcoins are struggling. Momentum feels weak. Fear is at an all-time high, or fear greed index is at an all-time low. And we are yet to see a so-called alt season. So today we're going to unpack a few things: how narratives drove past bull cycles, why they worked before, why they're failing now, and what it means to investors moving forward. So, crypto has never just been about technology. That is the facts. Crypto has been about belief in decentralization, belief in financial freedom, belief in being early to something revolutionary. And every single bull market, we had a dominant story, right? So 2013, 2014, Bitcoin was digital gold. That continued for subsequent cycles. In 2017, we had ICOs, blockchain for everything, right? In 2020 and 2021, we have DeFi, NFTs, metaverse, Web3, right? The digital future was everything we were talking about. And each cycle had a simple message: this is the future, and you need to get it now. And people believed it. Retail poured in, VCs poured in, institutions followed, and prices exploded. But we're not seeing any of that now, right? We're not seeing the same narratives creating momentum creating FOMO, and then FOMO creating parabolic moves. That machine is seemingly broken, right? So 2017, what 2027? Maybe something happened in 2027. I call it, right? But in 2017, all you basically needed was a white paper, a website, and a token. Boom, 100 million valuation, right? Projects that had no product, no users, no revenue, were doing 20x, 50x, 100x, and boy, do I miss those days. So, why are things different now? What has fundamentally changed in this cycle from the previous cycles where JPEGs were everything, NFTs was taking over, celebrities were joining in? What has changed now, right? And the fact is, news isn't moving the markets like we have come to experience it, or come to know it, right? Coinbase IPO not do in the past. Coinbase IPO would have blown things off the roof. Tesla adopted Bitcoin, but now we're seeing things like spot ETFs being approved, flat. BlackRock and Fidelity involved in crypto, flat. Banks offering crypto services, flat. Governments exploring tokenization, flat. Major payment processors integrating crypto, nothing moves, right? So what has changed? What is the fundamental difference this cycle as compared to previous cycles? And I've mentioned it here before. The fact of the matter is that the crypto market is maturing, right? Crypto is no longer this new experimental thing that only the techies know about and a few of their friends who they managed to convince, and some risk forward VCs who jumped in. Institutions now understand it a lot more. Regulators are monitoring it a lot more. And funds, big hedge funds, are analyzing it and responding to that analysis. So we're seeing less blind speculation, a lot more risk management associated, and more selective investing, because even the retail participants of previous years who would have been burned by prior cycles, who would have bought the top in 2021, held to 2022, they are a lot more cautious, right? They are a lot more cautious with how they deploy their money. No more we're seeing, this kind of all-in behavior. I mean, no more recklessness, except from my opinion, in the leverage game, but no more just blind belief around what is happening. And also we're seeing liquidity is tighter, right? No longer low interest rates fueling a market, the massive money printing that we would have seen in COVID and ease of credit, and also the overall market capitalization of crypto is a lot larger. So it takes a lot more money to see the same kind of moves that we would have seen when the whole crypto market was under $1 trillion, right? So overall, I think, well, in addition to that, I think now, because narratives have been such strong movers of markets and segments of the market, there's a narrative around everything. There's AI tokens, which is a narrative. We have real world asset tokens. We have gaming tokens, social fi, deepin, layer twos, restaking. And I think it's just become very crowded. The narrative space has become crowded to the point where there's so much noise that no one narrative is able to dominate in a way that we would have seen in previous cycles. And because of that dilution, I think we are seeing more and more people stay committed to and fixated on Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to hold its dominance in the market. It's absorbing most of the capital. Obviously, ETFs, obviously institutions, a lot more focus, especially for the new money coming in, is being focused on Bitcoin. So we're not seeing the altcoins really going crazy like we've seen in previous cycles. And like I said, the market is a lot more mature now. So narratives just aren't enough, right? We are talking, people are looking for real revenue. So projects that actually have cash flow, real users, daily active users, and not just a bunch of wallets that have been activated. People are looking for real adoption. So people actually using the products for these projects that they say are going to change the world. Stronger tokenomics, no longer just, these contracts where people can print excessive amounts of tokens. They're looking for real supply controls, burns, staking, those kind of things. Tokenomics is an important part of assessing a project now. It's no longer just, this, you have 100 million tokens and they start at 0.0001 cents and it's going to get to $1. And then people looking for sustainable ecosystems, not just hype. Where are the people actually operating? And I think that is why, for me, I've mentioned here before, and I'm not going to say no because I don't want nobody to say I'll say this is going to happen, but there are particular ecosystems that I see the most growth opportunities in. Do your research and you'll figure that out as well. But I think we've moved away from just, storytelling in investing and more towards performance investing. And ultimately, that is slow, it's boring, but I think ultimately it's healthier for the space. So overall, I don't think that narratives are dead. I think that narratives can no longer stand on their own, right? We're not gonna see, where all seasons where everything pump, where random meme tokens do 100x, and weak projects still able to moon and have crazy levels of liquidity flowing through them. I think we're gonna see a more selective run. I think we're gonna see rotation by sectors. We're gonna see shorter cycles, and we're gonna see continued volatility. I mean, the one thing that has been constant in this space from the beginning to now, and I think we're gonna see things even out, and we're gonna see a lot less. The percentage of winners is gonna be a lot less, as with everything from an investment standpoint. Not everyone will win, and I think that is going to separate those people who are really committed to this space from those who, just came here to get rich quick. So, how do you adapt as an investor? Stop chasing headlines, focus on the fundamentals, right? And be patient. This is not now or has never been a get rich quick scheme. You can get rich quick, but that is rare. It is few and far between, and that is not what this is about. So think long term, because like I've said before, and I'm going to keep saying it until the cows come home, adoption is inevitable. But it may not happen in the next month, it may not happen in the next year, it may be 10 years from now, 15 years from now, right? But you do the hard work, you do the heavy lifting, it's gonna pay off. I believe that. Truly do. So, narratives dead? Nah. They just need more. They just need more than just narratives, right? We still love to storytell, right? So, guys, have a safe, enjoyable carnival. Thank you for being with me. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Right? So if you're looking for me next week, I am going to be on the road drinking Hennessy in Trinidad Carnival. with Lost Tribe, right? Illuminati. OUT. Oh, guys, be safe. See you next week, Thursday. Be blessed. Peace.